To be honest, it's reached to a point to, as much as I loved flying, I loved Emirates, it was time to say bye-bye because Ella was struggling. I was struggling. Every day I go to work, I don't want to be there. Every day was a struggle.
Because you're thinking about your kids.
Not even my kids, because I was with Ella. I was thinking about my husband. Because we are married, but we are apart. And we've been apart for so long.
What do you mean you've been apart for so long?
Because Ella was now, so we dated 2 years, and then Ella was born, she was 7 years apart. Then I said, it's not.
Wait, 7 years apart?
Yes.
What do you mean?
He lived in the US and I lived in Dubai.
So you also was, but like how often were you seeing each other?
We tried to see each other oftenly because I used to bid for flights, US flights, so we could meet. When I have leave, I could go, he could come. But still, it reached a point where Ella is a papa's child. And I felt it, that I am denying what is right. And to be honest, as I say, when it comes at times to leave, no matter what, I was left with 2 years to have my tickets, my retirement tickets.
2 years?
2 years.
Wait, so retirement tickets you get style travel for life?
For life. But I couldn't even wait for the 2 years.
Really?
Yes, I couldn't. I was like, no, I'm going to make the money. We're going to travel, even without the stuff travel. Yeah.
Abundance.
Yeah. Because sometimes, hey, I said,
yes.
I don't want to be fired. Because then you start realizing you're not even giving the good customer service that you're supposed to, you know? I fell asleep on the jump seat all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because fatigue, my body was just shattered. So that's when I said, no.
Sorry to cut you off there. But real quick, what was it like being in a long-distance relationship? Or I know you often see each other, but like even just that time apart for, you said 7 years? What was that like for you?
It's hard. You don't want to go through that because it is hard. Sometimes I used to cry, you know, because obviously flying is not easy. Then when we see him, when we come back, Ella is crying, Papa, why do we have to leave, Papa? When he comes to Dubai, the time to go back to the US, Ella is like, why does he have to leave? So it was, and to be honest, I always believe just to having that bond together, it really helps. It really helps. So that's it. The distance is really hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
Okay. So now you say, I'm gonna go move in with you, Andy. What's the process, and then where's the journey from there after you decided I'm gonna leave Emirates?
Oh, actually, another part is because you see, in America, you can't just leave. There's a process, you know, from the marriage. So we got married when Ella was born. We got married, and then at that time, I was not ready to leave actually. So we pushed it, and then until when now I said, you know what? Let's start applying for the green card from Dubai. So at least, you know, the step won't go like too faster so that I can see how, or when we applied from Dubai, it was very slow. Like even within 1 year, we kept on checking, nothing was being processed. That's when my husband, we called the immigration. So the immigration officer said, I think at this point with COVID, everything is taking so long. So the only way is you have to cancel that application and come back to the US and start over again.
So wait, where do you start the application?
So I started the application in Dubai. But with 1 year, it's still done.
Just waiting.
Waiting.
What was the visa? Like for green card?
Green card, yeah.
So the green card, and under the green card is because you're married.
Yes.
You can come and live. You have all the paperwork, you supply everything, and it took a year.
Took a year. I remember there was a time during COVID they were not giving visas. that's when I said this is a wake-up call. Because I remember I went to the embassy. For some reason, they just didn't give me a visa. They said they didn't deny me because I had previous visas. But they just said they are not issuing a visa.
And because you were a flight attendant, so they could see your...
Yeah, but they were not just issuing a visa. So what I did, because I'm always like a go-getter. I was like, no. Ella wants to go and see that. What am I going to do? I went with Ella to the embassy. I called the embassy at the gate. I said, I have a child here. She's an American citizen. She wants to see the father. Who's going to take the child? They're like, oh, what's her name? I gave the name. Straight away, open the gates, bring her in. I brought Ella in. They said, what's the problem? I said, I've been trying to get a visa. I need to take Ella. She's an American citizen. But because of COVID, they're not issuing visas. I said, oh, no. Okay. Within 5 minutes, I was issued a visa.
Boom. Yeah. Especially so you went into the gate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were not. And they would just say, I'm sorry. They're not saying they're denying you. They're just not issuing a visa during COVID.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
You say you have the child, yeah.
Because they treasure their kids, you know? The Americans. So I was like, what is the other way? How am I going to go? So that's when I realized during COVID, things are becoming so hard for even issuing a visa. And then we just decided this is just ruining everything. So that's when I was like, yeah, it's time. Mm-hmm. It's time.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're in the US, new life now. What was that adjustment? And so also, can you also talk about, okay, so you're also in long distance for that long. Mm-hmm. Did that also make you appreciate now the time that you're actually like, I get to live with him, like we're not doing long distance anymore, like we're here for good?
To be honest, when I went, and that's what I'm saying, like, I wanted to go back to flying. And I never thought that I would have another baby, you know? Because all this time we tried, nothing happened. So I was like, okay, maybe God just wanted me to have Ella. But then when I moved to the US, I was so happy. You know? Okay, now it's not like when I moved, I used to sleep in bed, breads are made, tea is made, cooking is done, you know, everything is put on the table, you know? Then I think after 5 months, I said, no, you have to start cooking. You know, so everything was great. Not that everything is great right now, but what I'm trying to say is he welcomed me in the US, pretty much. Like he did everything. He still does, because obviously I didn't work for 3 years. When I went, I got pregnant, but then we decided, you know what, because of I am traveling, you know, the work system was not just working for both of us. Mm-hmm. So he pretty much has really taken care of me from the time that I landed in the US until now that I started my business.
And I love that. Mm-hmm. I honestly love that. I feel like, you know, being the mother of his children and the journey that you guys have been on, it's like you deserve this. You know, and it's like how a masculine man would take care of a feminine woman. So I think it's really nice. Mm-hmm.
It was good. And then that's when I realized, you know what, as well, I can't just stay at home and just be a stay-at-home mom, because this is not me. It was not me, because even before, as you mentioned, I was still in my business doing Airbnb. And when I opened, and that's why I didn't want to leave Emirates. I wanted it to be secured. Not that I'm saying when I didn't know if I go to the US, because it taught me when I left the UK, I didn't have anything. So this time I didn't want to make the same mistake. I said, look, when I leave Emirates, I want to make sure that I have something to go home to. That's when I started Airbnb business.
But let's take it back. You said when you got there, you were so happy.
Yes.
Why were you so happy?
I was happy because I reunited with my husband. That's number one. Number two, I saw Ella was very happy. You know? Number three, now I started to live, not that I didn't live like a human, but it was now waking up the right time, eating the right food, doing the right things, and that made me very happy. Made me very happy. I hear people saying when they left the airline, they got depressed, or when they moved to the US, they got depressed. For me, it never happened to me because I had a very strong support system from Andy.
And that's why, like, I think environment is very important, because I hear that a lot. Like, people say, oh, when you have a child, this happens, or this, and they try to generalize everything. But like, just because you were saying you were depressed when I came, it doesn't mean that it's going to be like that for me. And so your situation is different. So I think it's very important to be careful what environment you're in.
Absolutely.
Because you imagine you're hearing that, and then you could go and think you're going to be depressed when you go there.
Absolutely. And it's very easy. In US, remember, I am the person who used to get a good salary, like a decent salary every month. But now it's not there anymore. Gone. You used to fly all these countries. It's not there anymore. I used to stay in 5-star hotels. It's not that there anymore. I used to have somebody to help me at home. It's not there anymore. So you tell me, if you have a very faint-hearted person, you can easily start thinking those things and start thinking, oh, how come my life is not the same anymore? How come I'm not getting these things anymore? And that's why depression kicks in. But as I told you, because I operate the Airbnb by myself. So I was still busy.
So when did you do the Airbnb thing, by the way?
The Airbnb thing, to be honest, from the past experience, the moment I got my job as a flight attendant, my first loan I straight away bought an apartment.
You bought an apartment?
Yes.
Where?
In Gillimani.
Okay. Why?
Actually, I didn't even want to buy because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the life. I want to party. I want to do all the nice things people are doing. Well, my sisters, honestly, my family has been a big support system to me. Big support. And when I say that, they knew if I don't invest, it's never going to happen. My sisters were like, Lois, this is the time. If you're not going to do it now, you will never do it. I remember me going to check apartments around, and I told my sister, how am I going to do it? She said, you will do it. Do not worry. You will do it. So yeah, boom, after I knew how to go around it, that's when I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. It wasn't easy, to be honest, because you have to think about it. The apartments in Gillimani, they're not cheap, So I really struggled. Sometimes, Ella wasn't born then. So what I used to do, sometimes I could just even survive on my layover money. Because my loan was about, to be honest, it was almost like $2,000 or $2,500 per month. And I had many things also, but I wanted to secure this apartment, So when I bought the apartment, I was like, wow. And I wanted more, So it has been like that. And I thank God. And the same sister, I remember I went on maternity leave, came back with Ella. I had just finished paying my apartment off, paid off fully.
So you fully paid it off. So in between that time, were you getting, like, you opened it up for Airbnb, and was it now covering what you were paying a month, or?
So actually because that time there was no Airbnb. There was no Airbnb. So it was on rental.
Okay.
It was just on rental. So I had a Chinese who rented my apartment. So he rented it for 1 year.
Wow.
Yes.
Does he pay up front?
No, just monthly. So it was being paid monthly, but because I didn't have too many expenses, I just kept on saving. So I saved from that apartment. And then again, when I finished paying, my sister told me I have to take another apartment.
Wow. How long did it take you to finish paying?
To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I tell people, I see in Kenya, people taking millions of dollars and showing it and playing with the money like it's just like paper. When you struggle for your money, you're not going to play with money like that. When I didn't buy my partners, trust me, I could get a bill of 50,000. I didn't have a problem to pay that. Somebody will call me, hey, give me 20,000. I did not have a problem to give that. But to own the 3 apartments, I'm telling you, it was money coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Only now I've finished paying off all my apartments. Only now.
So you didn't still not reaping the benefits of it.
I used to enjoy the benefits. Sometimes I could use money here and there. I never starved myself. I would still shop. I would still do. And again, it comes to a support system. There is no day my husband has told me, since you have the apartment, you should take care of bills. You should do this. There was no day. So I still lived normal. I still bought what I wanted to buy, but it's just that I couldn't. I still saved, but it's just that I couldn't, how can I make it? I couldn't flash like people are flashing and just taking $100,000, no, 2 million and putting it on the table the way I'm seeing, or showering with the money, And I feel like people are just living in a bubble. Because a person who has money will never do that. We will not do that. Why? People who have money do not do that.
Yeah, but I think that's just marketing. It's just marketing.
Marketing yourself?
Yes, it's just marketing. Just because if you do it, they'll pay attention, and then they say, So when you see people do that, it's just marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what my journey. So when I went to the US, I knew I'm covered.
Wow. So but what's really interesting was like you were reinvesting.
Yes.
So
yes,
you were
that's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. I never spent the money. What I did is just reinvestment.
And you can still pay. You still pay yourself a little bit of profit in the meantime. But you're, going, hey, this apartment's working well. We get another one.
Yeah.
We get another one.
So I wasn't just blowing the money. I wasn't. That's why I think I did reinvestment and to be honest, when you do that, you sleep well. Reinvesting is the beauty sleep. You sleep well.
When you reinvest.
Yes.
Because you feel like, even just that feeling like, I've got 2 apartments.
Yes.
Yes.
You, you feel like a boss lady, not a boss lady for the drink, because sometimes when you go out, you buy drinks, you buy for people, they will say, you are a boss lady. That's not a boss lady. Boss lady have moves. Proverbs 31 woman.
You said boss ladies have moves.
Yes.
Explain that a little bit.
So boss ladies, they thrive. They are go-getters. They do not show off. They do not say, I have, I've been, I have. they're still very calm about it, you know, but they're still boss lady. They do boss lady moves. But that's why sometimes we catch ourselves because we want to live people's life. You know, you see, oh my friend, oh my gosh, I see her posting, she went here, I see them doing that, I want to be like them. You know, that's why you see a lot of people are getting into debts because they want to live that life. People are posting things that are not theirs. So they want to be those people. Those are not boss ladies.
It's so true. It's like, you know, you could do all of that. Oh, you know, this is who I am and this is what I do. I live in whatever country. But what moves? What strategy do you have? Do you own something? Do you have properties? Do you have, if you have to stop work, can you have income coming in? If you would look, you know, you're at home now, you have income coming from your Airbnbs, you know? So it's like, that's a boss move, not
And
just
can I tell you, a boss lady doesn't stop. Like now, I said, I'm not going back to now buying. Now, we are planning to relocate to Kenya after 4 years. Now, we want to build. And for this, I said, look, I don't want us, by the time we reach Kenya, I've just been sitting at home. That's why I say, even if you're a boss lady, you still want to do more. That's why now I went into event planning.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
So when I went to the US, I struggled with jobs because in the US it's either you just be, which is doable. You can do casual work. But I say when you have kids, it's hard. So I tried to apply, you know, places, but yes, I could be called for a native. And then I'm like, where am I going to leave my kids? So, and then I got inspired by our own wedding. When we had the wedding in Kenya, I used a very prominent event planner in Kenya. And I could see this lady, honestly, like when we were paying for a wedding, I was like, why am I paying for this? And to be honest, like I had almost everything from China. So I was like, why are we paying so much money and we still have our own stuff, you know? So I was like, you know what? Because I'm very good in deco, I have an eye of things. So I said, you know what? Maybe this could be my next move when I go to the US. So part of what I used from our wedding, I transported all of it to the US when I resigned. So that if there's a chance that I can do that, I can do. So when I found out like airline is not going to work, one time I started just doing a simple setup of my table. I took pictures, I posted on Facebook Market. Someone called me and told me they wanted me to do their baby shower. No, their after before the wedding, like a dinner party for the wedding. I was like, wow. It was for 50 people, good money. I was like, oh my gosh, actually I can do this. So then obviously I got pregnant, so I couldn't do it. So I did that one and then I dropped it after I got pregnant. And then once I got Elia, I still wanted to do it. But how? Because the event that I did, I had hired seats. But the event, I didn't turn up. Didn't turn up. So I ended up using the hotel seats, you know. So then I told my husband, once now it was time to go back to the event planning business, I told my husband the only time I will do events is when I have my own chairs, my own charger plates, my own everything. My husband supported me on that. He said, okay, if that's the only, because that you only do it on the weekend. So if at least on the weekend, I can either call a babysitter to look after the kids, or if Andy is there, he can always take care of the kids. So my husband was like, yeah, do it. And then I had contacts in China when I used to fly there. I used to have a lot of contacts. Rita also helped me with some few contacts here and there. And I said, wow, how am I going to do it? How is it to export things? What the immigration process, everything. But I said, you know what? Boss moves. It's going to happen. So I contacted them. They gave me the price list of everything. Then I said, you know what? Let me start with a number of 150. So 150 chairs, 100 charger plates, things like that. So I ordered everything from China. It arrived, then I started posting my work. From there, to be honest, I have events almost every month.
So you posting where on Facebook?
On Facebook Markets. To be honest, like...
Oh, Facebook Marketplace?
Yes.
Ah,
yes.
really?
It's as easy as that.
Oh my days.
It is. But I say it again.
Oh, that's smart. So you post like, oh, that's actually smart. Yes. And then those people, they don't have to go and pay the ridiculous prices that, you know, for a wedding, people will charge them 15, 20, 25 grand, you know, but they can get a good quote. So they look on Facebook Marketplace.
So my advertisement is always one-stop shop. Because in the US, I realized you can be a coordinator. A coordinator, you just go and set up. You don't bring your own things. So you just, so they will do vending from other places, but those things are not even nice, you know? That's why for me, I really invested in fine things. When you see the wine glasses, the water glasses, the chargers, everything, I invested in those. So for me, it's a one-stop shop. So when I advertise on Facebook Market, I put it as a one-stop shop. So when I get inquiries, I talk to them a little bit because I don't want to give them so much information because they're not paying me. So the next move I say, can we schedule for a meeting? And when I say, can we schedule for a meeting? That is a boss move because it's either you sign the contract or not. Your presentation really matters. The way you present yourself, the way you look, the way you carry yourself. And that's when the Emirates training comes in.
And then the customer service.
Customer service.
One-stop shop. You come to me, I'll do everything. I'll give you the best event.
I said, look, you're not going to be a bride. It's called Bridezilla, or what is it called? Mm-hmm. You will be the best bride ever. I want you to step back and let me take the lead.
And so is it just weddings or other events?
I do weddings, bridal showers, birthday, but I've done a couple of birthdays for Kenyans. But I'm doing, actually, it's very surprising that most of the weddings that I am doing mostly is for white Americans. I haven't come across doing a black wedding. I've always done white weddings. I love it because, not that I'm saying I've done an African and Nigerian, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. The good thing with whites, I love them. Why? If the number is 100, it is 100. When one person cancel, they will call you, tell you, now the number changed to 99. It's not 100 anymore. Or if it's 50, the person is 49. But vice versa. You know where we come from. 200, 300 will come. So I love that to the point that honestly I look forward to those weddings. They 70 people easy. Very easy, you know, and you deliver. You give everything. I give the chairs, everything. It's not easy day. The Saturday of the day is a long day. When you see me sometimes before the setup and when I'm setting, you will not understand that this is the same person I'm seeing right now after the setup. I am running back and forth, back and forth. I just thank God I have a very supportive husband. Because guess what? He's my driver.
Oh, he's your driver?
Yes. So he's the one because we want the business to stay in the family. Because in the US, it's very expensive to just hire people like that. To hire a driver, you're looking into like at least $300 just to drive you.
Yeah.
And then, for Hugo, you're looking into like another $300,
nice.
you know, for the mileage, you're looking at, so those adds up. And then I have my coordinators too. Honestly, my coordinators, they charge me $50 per hour to help me set up. So we try to work together so that we don't give all out. So that's why my husband comes in the sense that now he says, look, I'm going to load the truck. I'm going to hire the truck, load the truck, drop the things in the event. Once it's been offloaded, I start off. Then again, he will come back and do the same and reload. But as the business grows, maybe we're looking into having like a reliable, because also people are not reliable.
Yeah.
That's why, yes.
Goodness, speak to the choir. It's so hard to find competent people to just deliver on what you say you will do. That's all I ask. And it's even hard to just do that.
Yeah. So that's why for me, I'd rather pay a coordinator a lot of money and I know they're going to be there with me the entire time than paying little money. And then after 4 hours, they tell you, I'm tired, because that thing goes from morning to maybe 11. So you can have one event. Yes, you're getting paid well, but you work. You work.
Yeah. And you would have your revenue targets where you hit a certain revenue target and say, you know what? Yeah, I can invest that certain to give that position and because that's how you scale.
Yes.
The business can't just rely on you.
Yes.
So you get to a point where you hire such good people that you can now scale. And I was even thinking we'll talk business later about the weddings.
Yes.
But you were saying on, like for any CEOs or anyone out there who's planning an event in America, you know, we'll put your details below.
Oh, definitely.
And
definitely.
the Airbnb as well.
Definitely. Yes. I love that. And that, it just tells me that, yes, I said I'm going to retire when I'm 45. 45 is coming soon, but I am not seeing myself retiring at 45. I still have to push because, when I want to reach maybe my retirement, then I will say, oh, wow, I did well.
Wow. And, you look like you're in your 20s. So imagine that's crazy.
Thank you.
So I think we can end on that note because I know you guys are going out. You're enjoying Sydney. So thank you so much for sharing this. We've got to take a photo as well before we leave because I can forget that. And we have to do a part 2. I want to talk about also now the business side, just pick it out.
Yes.
Just the business.
Yes.
So we have to do.
And encouragement. You know, people give up. And people sometimes use money on things that are not supposed to be used. Invest. You know, there's a lot that's what I'm saying. If Sujira, I admire you. What you're doing right now, I wish I can do it. I have so many things to post about. Just the podcast itself. I know a lot of people, even in US, they've asked me, they want to do a podcast with me. But I was like a camera shy. I don't know where to start. Like sometimes when I'm doing my event, I would love to do the before and after, but I'm struggling. Like sometimes I post things that are not even supposed to be posted. So whatever you're doing right now, big up. You are doing great. Amazing, amazing. You've seen the way Ella, my daughter, she doesn't even know me anymore. She's hanging out more with you. She's like, oh, we are editing with Sujira. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Auntie. And also, to that point, little advice. Let's say when you do an event, I don't know, like, you could do it here. You can pay someone like $30, $40 an hour, even Uncle Andy, and just get them to follow you around. Just doing what you do. Because a lot of people, they maybe put the camera there, they don't know what to say. Like, my thing is just document. You see me, like, I just document what I'm doing. And then we just edit, you know, so I'm in my natural, I'm not acting, I'm not, you know. So it allows me to get the content. So anyway, that's just going into my business.
But it's good. What you're doing, keep doing. I've been seeing it on online and I'm like, wow, that's smart. But now seeing it live, I'm like, should I do it? It's very nice. It's very nice. Yes.
But this is a great way for people to get your story, because you've had all these thoughts and had all these, wanted to get all these things out just because you you are also leaving a legacy. You're a mother, and like, you know, you're with your husband and you're experiencing life. So you've always wanted to get that out there, but it's just hard to, where do I even start? So I think this, while you're on holiday, we can sit here as Auntie, you know, and I can learn from your experience, take your advice. And like I said, we can even do business together.
No, we
people are going to know where they're going to get their apartments and Airbnbs and events.
Yes, we definitely have to, because you can see Ella is leaving a legacy. Ella's brother was an editor. All these things. That's why I'm seeing, like, now Ella is a very good photographer. Like, I cannot even ask my husband to take a photo of me. He's always in a rush. Mama, like, I talk to my husband, he says, Mama, you stand, tap. I said, babe, but this picture. Then I call Ella, come. So she's becoming, maybe she's the one who will be doing my videos.
Oh, yes, exactly. Why are you going to pay someone else and you can come, Ella, yes, and she learns from a young age, and she see, and actually, that's actually a great idea. And she'll do it. And she'll do it well because she's smart. You know why that's such a good idea? Because at that young age, they observe more. You can talk all you want, but children observe what you do. They don't care what you say, you know, so they observe. So to see it up close, seeing mum being an entrepreneur, but also playing a part in documenting that, which is the most important thing, because now that's content, that's footage you can use. You can put it on your YouTube channel, you know, and you're going to be big.
Yes. Yeah. So it's Sydney has always been my city. Ever since when I was flying, you've seen me when I started flying. I was coming to Australia, Sydney all the time, and now just coming as a tourist. Oh my gosh, this city is beautiful.
Anyway, look, I'll let you go because I know we can talk here for days. Thank you so much. We're going to take a photo.
Yes.
Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.